this whole year. It's been nice. It's been very nice.
So how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a pretty long week at work, so
Oh,
you know,
trust, trust me, I know.
that's how life is.
I work for Red Bull, so I already know how that whole thing goes.
Woo,
Yeah, but I guess we can go ahead and just jump
man.
straight into it if you want to go ahead and do it because I don't want to keep you up too late.
Oh, I mean that's fine, man. I'm all right. So,
But
however you want to do it, I'm ready. I got some green tea, so I'm ready to go.
all right, so I'm gonna do the same thing I do with everybody. I say I'm not gonna censor anything you say, so anything you say is going up there just like that. So don't if you don't something you don't want to say, don't say. 'Cause it's not gonna get edited
All
out.
right. Okay, that's fine.
But I appreciate y'all coming in here today, guys. We got Mr. Lee Van Dam with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Let them know what you're about.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Travis Scott, and my handle is Lee Van Dam. If you've been around a very long time in the fighting game community, especially in Tekken, then you may have seen me as Trav 2K in like the late '90s, early 2000s. But I am a uh, retired Lee specialist. I am a retired professional bowler, and life. I still really enjoy playing the game. I still really enjoy just coaching and helping people become the best they can be. And just I like helping players get better in life along with Tekken.
All
I
right.
have a company called the Mistrap Movement, and it specializes in not only helping people get where they need to go in a lot of areas, such as finance, creating opportunities for yourself, lots of good self development for uh, leadership, especially if you're trying to figure out how to win at a high level, along with, as far as playing video games too. So uh,
I guess.
we're staying busy. So I love it. I love it.
All right, I got. So I know I brought you on here basically to talk about probably the most controversial fighting game that's been came out this year, pretty much.
Really?
It seems like it is because it seems like almost every day I go on X or I go on YouTube, somebody's talking about Tekken 8. And
Oh man.
it's kind of like it's kind of feel like it's 50-50 now after the last patch. And me
Okay.
me personally, like I dropped Tekken 8 probably that first month because I'm just like
Okay.
this game is I'm just gonna be honest. When I play Reina, I'm like this game is way too aggressive. Like because people are just pressing buttons and not trying to frame trap you. They're just like just pressing on buttons and stuff. And I'm just
Sure.
like, okay, I don't like this. And I just like, no, I'm done. Cause I
Okay.
played Tekken 7 and I'm like, okay, Tekken 7 wasn't like it was aggressive, but it wasn't like to this point where it felt like you can't even press a button sometimes.
Okay. So my take on Tekken 8, and I made a video about this already. They prepared everybody for this game to be more aggressive by making power crushes
You look
amazing.
like you're in good shape.
And
Slippers
because people
underscore
refuse to use the
123
tools
just
that are
followed.
available to them in Tekken 8, it's not going to be as fun. And that's just the way it is. Until everybody really embraces the chaos and learns that there's a lot of stuff in Tekken 8 that is super advantageous on purpose because the only answer is supposed to be Power Crush, the game is going to feel like it is not in your control. And it's always going to feel that way. There's nothing anyone can do about it until they decide to use the tools that Namco has given them to play this game. So I will go on record that a vast majority of people are not playing Tekken 8 the way it is designed, and that is why they are not having fun.
Mm. I'm actually back on it now since Far Cry Rams came out, and I guess
Sure.
I've kind of like you said, I've kind of like okay, this is the system that I got to play with, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more now than I did when I first started.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, well,
Great.
if I got to use heat and I got to use heat move and heat engagers and stuff, okay, let's just do that.
Yes.
And I was playing
Yeah.
I forgot what it was an Anna, and he kept doing a lot of the
Right.
same stuff, and he kept doing like a certain combo into a grab, and he did it to me twice, And
Right.
he tried to do it to me again in the last round after he hadn't done it for a while. And I said, I know he's gonna do it. And the second he does
Yep.
it, I'm gonna up two and and use my heat engager knee with Falcon Run. And like as soon as he did, I knew he was gonna press a button because he's done it every time. So as soon as he
Yep.
did it, I just up two, boom, heat engager. I'm like,
It's
okay,
classic. Yes. Yes.
I'm like,
Classic
I like,
conditioning.
I'm like, okay, I see what they're talking about. This is how you're supposed to play the game. Like, if you know he's
Yes.
gonna throw a button out there, a heat move out or a heat engager out.
Yes. Blow it up. Tekken has not changed at all. The only thing they've done is they've created an extra answer because they made the questions more difficult for old school Tekken. Like sidestep has been beefed up so you can step things with most characters
Yeah,
really well. Backdash is not as great for most characters on purpose because they want both characters to be in each other's faces and they want you to be using Power Crush. There's
yeah,
no reason to have a move that has armor, deals temporary health that you can get back, and if it absorbs a move, is safe on block. Can you? I want you to listen to what I just told you that move does. All right. It has armor. When it absorbs a move, it only deals temporary damage so you can heal all of that damage back, especially with the heat engager.
yeah,
And if it absorbs a move, it is no longer punishable on block. Now, just if you put that move into any game, it will be deemed an abusable strong move.
mm-hmm,
It's in Tekken 8. That's all I got to tell you. Like it should be there for if you know something's coming and you're like, I'm gonna blow it up. A power crush is a great way to blow it up. It makes it to where you have less things to remember, and it also makes it to where offense has to change because power crushes can be beat by lows and throws. Both of those can be blown up with hop kicks. So it makes the game actually as deep as Tekken always is, as long as people are willing to use it. Because the game of chess continues as soon as you have the power crush, which is basically like a dragon punch in Street Fighter. Once you know the dragon punch is available, you have to operate differently because you know it's there. People don't have to worry about power crushes if nobody's going to use them
yeah,
en masse. And if everybody's just going to try to play Tekken 7 but with busted frames, of course the game is going to look grimy and it's going to look crazy because they've made it different on purpose and given us tools to fight it off. But apparently nobody wants to do them.
yeah. Well,
I don't understand what to tell everybody. I don't get. I don't know.
like the more I've actually started watching and playing it now, it's like I kind of understand what they're going for. Even though I knew Harada had pretty much said at the beginning, "Hey, we want this Tekken 8 to be more interactive. We want you guys we want
Yes,
it to be aggressive." And I'm kind of like,
yes.
I kind of understand what he means now. Like it rewards you for interacting with more with the player instead of being so defensive.
Well, it awards defense too. That's exactly why Power Crush is made, is for defense. It's great because the only system that I try to equate it to burst in anime games.
Yeah,
Yes, you can use it offensively. You can make a read on somebody and preemptively power crush them. Yes, you can definitely do that. But the reality is that most of the time it's there to help you blow up somebody trying to oppress you so you can get out. And then it's there to make them have to rethink what they're going to do because now they know, oh, okay, he can blow me up here. So I'm going to either have to hesitate so I can block it, change to a low, or throw. And then once that works, now both people are on game. Now both people are trying to think about what the other person is going to do, and you're back to playing Tekken again.
yeah,
If that piece of the puzzle is not it's not that difficult to put together once it's been addressed in a match because now you're both playing Tekken again and having to think about what could happen on both sides should that sequence come back up.
yeah. Because do you feel like people just really wanted Tekken 8 to be more like Tekken 7.5? Like not really such a huge jump from just Tekken 7 to all of a sudden now you got Heat You got heat bursts, heat engagers, and all this other stuff.
I think that because people know that game developers will patch the game, they cry. When I was playing for a very long time, patches did not exist until you got the next version of a game. So
Yeah.
you had to deal with what you had to deal with. Like in Tekken Tag, yes, you had to deal with people being able to backdash you on infinite stages and time you out if you could not catch them. You just had to deal with that. Guess what? They took that away in Tekken 4 and made backdashes not work as well. So that way the fight could be close. Oh, similar to Tekken 8. Oh, this is not the first time this has happened. Tekken 4, oh, we have higher health bars. So it's more of a fight. Ah, this is not the first time this has happened. Like, they rectified this in many different Tekkens. This is not the first time Tekken's experienced this. In Tekken 5, we had to deal with infinites. That didn't get patched until 5.1. And it wasn't still like stuff wasn't busted. You know, 5.1, we get Heihachi getting
You
a
look like
10
you're in
frame,
good shape.
50%
Stretching
punish.
foothold just followed.
Okay, you still got to deal with it because you know why? Because you're not getting a new game until Dark Resurrection. And so, Dark Resurrection, if you go look at how Dark Resurrection is, there's a lot of strategy, but the game, it still hurts. Like when you get hit with something, it still hurts. You know, and this is before you have Bound, and this is before you have Tailspin, and you have Rage Arts, and you have Rage. The game still hurts. In Tekken 6, I'm sure you've probably seen absurd comebacks when somebody gets into Rage
Mm-hmm.
and they don't get finished off, and at that point it's terrible. It's hard to watch someone almost be done, and then they do you up with a juggle, take you to the wall, break a wall, and you're like, oh, this is not over. Like, nope, this ain't over. I planned for this. I sat in the lab for hours so I could get this juggle in case I was almost dead and you didn't finish me off, and we were on this stage, and have a good day. Like Tekken 7, we started getting rage arts. Now we gotta deal with if you're almost dead, and if I've got half life or less, I gotta be careful because I can't throw up like super unsafe moves that can get absorbed and be hit with a rage art. You just have to deal with that. You know, comeback city when that happens. But it's very satisfying when you bake them with a couple of jabs and then you get to block the rage art and you're like, oh, what's up now? You know? So I don't understand why people desperately want the game patched so quickly without an opportunity to try to figure it out. That's the
Yeah.
part I don't understand.
Well, me and Jess.
Tekken.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, no, you're fine.
Oh no,
I'll continue after you.
me and my co-host Joshua, we talked about it too, and he was just like,
Mhm.
they need to make these really fast patches that they need to do all this stuff. I'm like, no, that's how we got to this point in the first place because they made huge sweeping changes
Yeah.
instead of just taking things a little bit slow. And I'm like, no, just these little bit of patches that they've been putting out while people think they're not really anything. I'm like, in their totality, it actually does change the game a lot from what it was in season 2 basically kicked off. Like
Yes.
to me, the game is a lot better now to play. Like I actually started playing and started grinding rank a little bit more and trying to learn Rum and learn the system and everything. Before when it first came out, I'm like, I can't deal with this game is oppressive. Like these characters, some characters just feel like they're just overly oppressive. But now it's like, okay, it's still there's still some characters that are oppressive, but it's just like that's fighting games. There's gonna be top tier characters that's just gonna be overwhelming no matter what game you play. So it's just like, okay, I just need to learn my. I talked to Pork Chop when he came to one of our tournaments. He was like, learn your movement, learn your combos, learn your punishment.
Yep.
Movement can be the last thing you learn, but learn your combos and your punishes. That'll carry you through a lot of ranks.
Yes. And you don't need to have optimal combos. You just need one you can reliably do.
Yeah.
That deals good damage and does the job. You do not have to have the lab the lab certified optimal, this is the most damage you can do combo every single time. Just do a combo you can do, get somebody over to the wall, have a wall game, have a good idea of what you plan to do, how you plan to space someone around the wall to help make it to where they can't get out, learn the ranges on your moves. If that'll solve 90% of everybody's Tekken problems. And
Yeah.
punishment on block. You only need one punish. I have a video about this with Lee in Tekken 7, where I basically teach one punish at frame values from like 10 to 15, because Lee has a 10 frame punish. So you only need one. Part of the issue that can happen with people is there are so many things to think about, and you might have analysis paralysis if you don't train yourself. I just need to do this one punish when I block this. I just need to do this punish when I block this. And you have to really just put that in your mind so you don't think about it. You see that move's blocked. All right, boom, you're already ready to go. And yeah, that will definitely solve 90% of the rounds of Tekken that you play. So, Pochop, he's speaking the truth because they've purposely made movement, specifically backdashing, not as good because they're tired of all these timeouts. They're tired of people having a skill disparity that is effectively game manipulation, that if if the game didn't allow them to cancel it, it wouldn't be there in the first place because it wasn't coded to be there.
Yeah.
It's great that it's there. It's great that wave dashing is there, but these are things that are high level manipulations. They're not like, the game is not coded for you to have that on purpose. So, Korean backdashing is still there. You still, unless you're literally running away for a timeout, you shouldn't need to backdash cancel more than 2 to 3 times at most. And I'm happy that they've put a stop to that, because that alone shouldn't be the best defense choice 70% of the time. When you can duck something, you can sidestep something, you can learn strings and interrupt, you can power crush, you can you have all these choices. One thing that takes reasonably high levels of skill, so that means that you can't even start doing it until you're practiced a lot with it. That shouldn't be your answer 7 out of 10 times. That doesn't make any sense. So,
I get it.
you know,
So what is the, I guess, the biggest disparity between like a casual, a intermediate, and a pro? Because I've seen some intermediate players that, like, I'm not a pro player, but I can see the problem. I may not be able to diagnose it as well as the pro player can, but I know this is a problem here. And people would just say, well, you're not on that level. You're not playing high level ticker, so you really can't speak on this issue. But even though everybody knows it's a problem.
okay. So I will say that the so the jump between casual to intermediate is not that big of a jump. Casual to intermediate could literally be, you reliably do your combos. So when you get the opportunity, you out damage a casual person because you always hit your combos. Intermediate to advanced would honestly be the next step, which is you can you can block slow lows most of the time, and you can advance is when you really start to be able to defend against stuff. That's when you're looking for lows that are slow to block. You're starting to notice patterns, so you learn the efficacy of a low parry. You um you are starting to have simple, reliable block punishment. And so at advanced players are going to beat, like, when you're an advanced player, it is not uncommon for you to have like an 80% plus win rate. And the reason for that is because An advanced player is going to be doing all the stuff that makes professional so dangerous at just a simpler level. A professional that's playing for money all the time, the biggest thing they're going to be able to do that is underrated is they can play the game at the level of their opponent with more knowledge, more practiced, disciplined choices that they make on the screen, and they give you less mistakes to work with. That's that's where you get the true professional. They're not like true professionals. The reason that they're called that is because you hear that a lot of intermediate players and sometimes advanced players talk about how they have trouble. Right? Have you heard that before?
Say it again. 'Cause you
Where
broke up a little bit.
I'm sorry. Have you ever heard where intermediate players and maybe not so much advanced players, but they'll talk about how they can play the game pretty good, but they have trouble now beating scrubs
Mhm.
because now they know enough about the game to understand what should and shouldn't be happening. And that makes it difficult for you to beat somebody that doesn't care about what should and should be happening.
Oh yeah, I've gone through that with Street Fighter. Like when I'm playing
Right,
against like higher master rank players, like okay, I'm fine. But then I play against somebody who's lower
right,
level. It's like it kind of just messes
right,
me up. Cause I'm like, why would you do that right there? And it just
right.
kind of throws me
So
off.
So what happens is when you get to the point where you're a professional and you're like playing, the scrub doesn't beat you because you don't go above college level. So all you're able to do is effectively defend what they show you and them accordingly. And that's very important, and it's a hard skill to master because you have to understand that this person doesn't know enough or things that you could do to a better player would be dangerous. This is the person where I need to abuse that slow low because this guy, this person is just not good enough to block that slow low. I need to abuse these moves that everybody else would block to get them on up out of here. And that's what makes a professional different. That's why they have that 96 plus percent win rate because they can beat anybody by coming down to their level and they still get to beat them with the experience they've amassed at the professional level where they have to play at the highest level. So
I
that does
get,
that make sense?
yeah, I get what you're saying. Cause like I said, I've experienced that in Street Fighter where I'm
Right.
playing high level players and then playing like lower rank people. It's like, why am I struggling to get this guy? Because it's like, in my
Mhm.
head, I'm like, I know what he should be doing with this character, but he's not doing it. And so it's kind of
Right.
messing me up on things that I want to do because I'm unsure about what he's going to do.
Right. And you cannot be fooled by professional players almost winning against players that you think they should mop the floor with because they're trying to do the least amount of work possible to win. So they don't mind using the life bar and just being better than you by one mix up if that's what it takes. If that's the most efficient way to beat you, then that's just the most efficient way to beat you. They don't get hung up with trying to perfect you all the time. They're just trying to get you on up out of there. So that and that's something that's I think that's very important to highlight because a lot of times those kind of matches they don't look very pretty and you're thinking that the professional is just going to put on a clinic when they don't have time for that. They're not trying to do all of that mental gymnastics
Yeah.
against stuff that shouldn't work in the first place. They may just hit somebody with down forward 4 until the round is over because they find out, oh, this guy can't get ripped around down forward 4. So whenever I get in his face, I'm gonna do down forward 4 because if he ducks, it's gonna hit him. If he stands, he's gonna block it, and I'm safe. If he steps the wrong way, it's gonna hit him. If I run up and don't do down forward 4, now he's not gonna attack because he's waiting for me to do down forward 4, and then I get to jab him and start my offense. Like it, they are going through that in that kind of like very precise, methodical thought pattern when they play people, and that's really that 10 to 15% extra where they almost never lose because they cover bases that people just they don't think about that. So
Yeah, they're just trying to spend the less mental energy on certain things.
right, yeah,
I
because
got
a
you.
win's a win.
Yeah,
If I'm a doctor, you don't know if I got a 2.0 GPA in college. You just know I'm a doctor.
yeah. As I said, you win by one. You got 1% of health, and you win. It's still a win. It don't really matter how seriously now. Now I'm gonna actually put time into it, and then
Okay,
just. And I know people will say, "Well, you were playing Raina, so what the problem? What problem did you have?" And I'm like,
you know, okay. Mhm. I think I like Reina. I think Reina actually is the perfect character to learn how to like in a defense type way. She's the perfect character to start learning how to power crush stuff. Like she was built with the what was it 442 or whatever that goes into the stance options she has.
mm-hmm.
She has everything that she needs to punish you for not power crushing her high and her mid, and also to deal with power crushes if you decide to do it. In that entire sequence, she has an oppressive high that gives her plus frames. She's got a good knockdown mid. She's got a low that's way less damage, and she's got a throw. So she's able to deal with people who don't power crush, and she's able to deal with people that do. You
Well,
know, and
I
what you
guess
say?
I
I'm
guess
sorry.
it's just because I was waiting for Lydia, and I just like I don't really gel that well with Raina, but I'm like, okay,
Okay.
Lydia. Then when I saw the DLC, I'm like, okay, she's coming in, so I can just wait.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
saw Falcon Rum, and I'm like, yeah, I'm picking them up dates as soon as he gets released. I'm picking them up.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
But I don't, is that I haven't ran it. I say the only character I say was like really dumb was probably Anna. I like this character is stupid. That's the way she can just mix you up like that.
Well, I mean, historically, she's always been that way. It's just now with all the stance cancels that she has, it's definitely ramped up in this game. You definitely have to learn how to power crush her in this game. 100%. But yeah, historically, Anna's always been the high risk 50-50 mix up sister. That's how she wins. She wins by getting that knockdown, getting in your face, and being like, "Where am I going?" You're like, "I don't know," and she says, "I don't know either," but it's gonna be a lot of damage either way. So good luck. You know that's always been Anna. She's great. I love Anna. I played Anna as my secondary in Tag. I played her in Tekken 5, DR, Tekken 6. So I mean, I've always enjoyed the character, but now, yeah, she's got a whole bunch of stuff that I have not had time to explore, but I really enjoy watching Anna work. Oh my gosh. She is all over the place. And I'm 100% here for it. I love it.
So I guess we can get into more so the casual side of thing. I guess do you feel like they're trying to kind of balance the game to keep more casuals around, or it's just like, well, we're trying to balance it out for both of y'all, for the pro and the more advanced players, and kind of still trying to cater to the casuals?
I always think you should not balance a game. You should not balance a game towards the minority of players. And professional Tekken players are the minority of players. Professional Tekken players will always develop high level strategies, and no matter what the game throws at you,
Hmm.
because that's just how their mind works. Case in point, Smash Brothers. The professional players in Smash Brothers are on a different level than what the game was intended for. Nintendo has actively tried to cut things out
Yeah.
to keep the game as a party game, and professional players still figure out a way to make it more competitive. And that's the same with Tekken. You like casual players don't need balance at all. Like they don't need balance. Um, they are balancing the game to try to make it to where on a competitive level, all the characters can play and win. Some characters may have an easier time than others, but they want all the characters to be able to have a chance to win if you're good at playing Tekken.
I
And
got
that's
you.
really all you can that's all you can ask for. Like, to
But
try to
but do
have
you,
it
but
to
you
where
but
everybody had I'm sorry.
but do you think that's a good development philosophy the where it don't matter what character you pick, they all of these characters can win. So you don't really have to have any character you like or anything. Just pick whatever.
No, the development philosophy is that if you're good at the system of Tekken, you can win with any character. The power levels of the characters varying based on their interactions with one another, those should always be unbalanced in that way because characters are going to react differently just based on how their move sets interact with one another. So some characters are going to have an easier time with others, and just that's just the way it is. A game should never be balanced to where everybody has a 50-50 shot of beating everybody because that's a very boring game. Like, what I'm talking about is, let's say there are two characters and at the highest professional level the matchup's a 7-3, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, still, if the match is a 7-3, one, that means you could win your three games right away and still get somebody on up out of here at the tournament. You might win your three. If they win their seven after y'all are after y'all are out of your tournament pool, that don't matter. You won your three. Get them on up out of here. And two, if you're very good at the system of Tekken, there's enough strategy and there's enough other things that are universal, like movement, like low parries, like power crushes, like heat, to where you're able to make up the gap with creativity and intense character knowledge. Because even though the matchup is 7-3, you just have to know their move set. And you're like, all right, so some of the stuff I have is clearly not effective, but I know I can block this low. I know how this string works. I know what I can step. I know what I can power crush. I know I can interrupt with a down jab. I know what I can high crush. Like, you just have to learn that character so that way when something happens, you're able to take advantage of the opportunity that presents itself instead of just being bogged down by the oppression that everybody's worried about, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, the opportunities are always there. You should People should not be concerned that their matchup spread terrible because you can be good with any character, and that's why Kuma has won tournaments. The underlying system is good enough
Yeah.
to where Bear can win.
Yeah. You're right about that. So would you say the most people on Twitter or X or whatever complaining about this stuff is people that really haven't gone in the lab and actually tried to see if you can step this or power crush it or just jab it, or they just complaining because I just don't want to deal with this. So I just want y'all to get it out of here.
A vast majority of the people that are complaining get their opinion from a high level player and they parrot it. And on Twitter, especially depending on who's following you or what's going on, that can look like you're one of the knowledgeable ones. And that may carry some weight. I don't know. What I do know is that you shouldn't play a game and ask the developers to change it in order for you not to deal with someone. You become a better player by figuring out how to deal with things, even if it is a losing venture. Because there's going to come a time when, if you deal with it, that could win you the match. And patches can't do anything about that. If you know how to deal with something and you come across a player that's been abusing it,
Yeah.
especially like, let's say you're at a local tournament, you come across a player that's been abusing something that's clearly very, very good, but you know how to deal with it with your character. When your turn comes up and all of a sudden things don't go their way, what if they don't have anything beyond that level one? What if now they're stuck because they're like, oh man, my game plan of this super high octane offense is not working against this player because he or she's figured out how to circumvent it with their character. What if I don't know what all their character can do? So now that my super duper offense flowchart doesn't work, I'm going to figure out how to defend on the fly at a tournament. It's a terrible, it's a terrible time to have to figure out whether you can block or not. Terrible time to figure out if you can interrupt stuff or not. You don't want to be on stage and be that person that's like, hey, now I'm gonna have to sit here and we'll try to work this out. So it is always in your best interest to try to figure the game out. And you're doing yourself a disservice by complaining about something that is not so bad that it causes you to not be able to play the game. Like Steve's Infinite caused people to not be able to play the game, but you know what? It still took over a year to patch it. It didn't get patched right away, and Steve didn't win every tournament.
No.
So Steve having that Infinite is true. Steve did not win every tournament is also true. Did Steve win a lot of tournaments because of that Infinite? Yes. Like, you know, yes. However, people had to learn how to operate in a way to where they could circumvent Steve. They can because everybody did playing Steve once the Infinite was discovered.
Well,
So
I guess it's just, I guess from my perspective, when I look at the Tekken community and just basically look at everything, I'm just like, why are y'all complaining about some of this stuff? Some of this stuff is just stuff you like. No matter what fighting game you go to, you just got to deal with it and just figure it out. Like just go in the lab, figure it out. Like okay, because when I'm playing now, I guess because I'm still in lower ranks, it like I'm like, why are you mashing on negative frames and then acting like you're not supposed to get hit? Like if I punish counter you, you're not going to get hit. But it's like
right,
a lot of players on that level, they just mash on just negative frames. And I watched
sure.
and Fighting GM did a video where he was breaking down a guy's video. I don't know if you saw it or not. Because
I did.
he was showing some Steve stuff, and it's like, dude, you're mashing on negative frames. I'm like, I'm not the best fighting game player, but I know you can't press on negative frames because just because you're depending on how heavily negative you are, like any move you throw out is going to be slow. So I the way
So
they
yeah,
go ahead.
I watched that video too. In my opinion, the video's very disingenuous. And I posted on it on GM's review of the video too because you the characters that they're using to defend against Steve is Jin. One of the characters that has the most defensive options in the game and multiple ways to deal with that string. And he wanted to make a case that just because he could not backdash away from the pressure, that defense is bad. That was he was making a case for the defense is bad. I can't go into the fact that he could have power crushed the string on block if he absorbed it and Steve blocked it. He could have he tried to step the string. It's not really the best thing to do throw for something like that, but he could down jab the string, he could regular parry the string, he could sabaki parry the string, could down for the string and then back that there's a lot of stuff that could happen that he did not want to address in that video because the video was supposed to say you can't Korean backdash this sequence, therefore it's bad. Well, if you go back and play Tekken 4, you can't Korean backdash much of anything at all. That was the first game to have side walking. You could sidewalk around a lot of stuff. You could step a lot of things in Tekken 4. But yeah, you weren't Korean backdashing stuff because backdashes were very short. They weren't meant to get you out of there. They were meant to supplement movement in case you needed to extend distance after you did something
Yeah.
and you wanted to get out of there, like get out of a throw or something like that. They weren't meant for you just to run away. And Tekken 8, Hey, look, we're a multiple of four. Backdashes aren't run away again. Uh, Here we are. So yeah, that video, I don't agree with the person that made that video because it's very disingenuous about the defensive options that exist in Tekken 8. I mean, you've got heat burst with armor and interrupts things. You've got still sidestepping, ducking, jumping because you can low crush some moves. You've got counters. You've got low parries. You've got reversals with some characters, reversal throws. Parries with other characters that are character specific. You can interrupt spins with Jown Jab. You can sidestep Power Crush. Like there's so many ways to get out of things, and sometimes you just have to figure out which technique works for what situation. Again, backdashing out of stuff should not be your go-to 8 out of 10 times. It already made for a boring sequence. We saw it happen in Tekken Tag 1. All you have no walls and you can't catch someone that's back, you're gonna not like that game. Not you're not gonna like it at all.
But I would look at that video and say it's probably going to be a lot of casual players that's going to look at that video and think like, yeah, he's speaking a lot of truth here, and I can't do this, and I can't do this in the game. And I'm like, you
Sure.
could, and you basically laying out, and Jim was doing the same thing. He was laying out, hey, you could do this, you could do that. And people in
Yeah.
his comment section were telling him, well, you don't know how to play Tekken because now you can't do that. I'm like, you telling this guy right here, he doesn't know how to play Tekken. I'm like,
He's
okay.
only in the Guinness Book of World Records for winning the most Tekken tournaments. That's all. No big deal.
I'm like,
I mean,
but is that kind of more like it's just the players nowadays? Like they just like you can't talk to these younger players and try to tell them like how things used to be or how things should be because they just believe they know more than everybody else.
yeah, but I mean that happens. That happens in almost everything. Um, because we live in a world where you're not encouraged to ask your elders for guidance. And what that actually does for you is it puts you in a cycle where you're going to make the same mistakes that your elders would help you avoid.
Yeah,
So it really it wastes your time more than anything else to not ask people for guidance and help. So it's crazy to me. But we live in a culture now where you can beg for patches. So if I can just beg for patches, what is the incentive for me to actually go in the lab and figure it out?
well,
I
true.
can just beg. I can beg for patches. I can make it go away. Cancel culture. Let's cancel this move together. Let's go on social media and we'll make a big fuss, and we'll make it go away. You know,
But no,
that's just what we live in. It.
no,
I
I
think.
think. Oh, go ahead.
I think it takes the fun out of a lot of stuff because you lose the joy of discovery. So hopefully it'll change and we'll get the little fixes like you said where they mean a lot but they don't overwhelmingly change things. They just, a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'd love for patches to be once a year at best once everything starts moving in the right direction based
Yeah,
on what people think, because I thought the vision of what Tekken 8 was supposed to be. I mean, if you notice the pattern in season 1, the characters that were supposed to be defensive all had high power crushes that were heat engagers. Because as a defensive player, it's a good reward for actually figuring out when to steal your turn back. That was on all the defensive players. Asuka, Lee, like everybody who's supposed to be a poker and annoyance had these high power crushes that doubled as heat engagers. Because they were supposed to frustrate you to where you threw out moves, um, without thinking, and then they could beat you with that, and that's how they finished the game. That's how they finished the game.
yeah.
So, so I thought the vision was there. I didn't think there was anything that crazy going on, but I've been wrong before. It happens. So,
Like I said, I've been on the outside looking in. I'm just like, well. I'm like, everybody's still complaining about stuff, but I'm like, I'm looking at the patches that came out, like every little thing
Right.
they kept doing. I'm like, well, the game's getting better. It's not as bad as
Sure.
it was. It's not as oppressive and stuff, but I'm like, the game's getting better. So, why is everybody still just hating the game and complaining? And I'm like, I kind of like feel like you said, like, oh, this content creator said this part of the game sucks, so we don't want to play it anymore because he says it. And I'm like,
Right.
y'all,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all have
Mhm.
almost basically killed your own game, but y'all telling
Yeah.
people to go play all the old Tekken games, but like none of y'all were playing those games before when Tekken 8 it came out. Y'all wasn't playing Tekken
I would
6 when Tekken 7 came out.
I would highly advise people to not play the old Tekken games and think that you'll have a better time. Like in Tekken 5, you you died in two touches with every character. Even the low tier characters had a way to kill you in two touches if you got up wrong. That game is stressful. It is very stressful. No, I would not advise people to go play that just because they're tired of Tekken 8. You get less chances at Tekken 5. If anything, I would tell people to go play Tekken 4 and just be like, you're gonna get caught with an infinite here now and then. But if you're looking to have the most chances in a match, Tekken 4 is a really good game. You've got tech rolls off the walls. Like you just damage doesn't stick that well unless you just get hit with like a fat stun combo. So if anybody wanted to play a game where they felt like they had a little bit more room for error, it'd be Tekken 4. And Tekken 4 is still gross. Like some characters don't let you get off the ground at all. Like you just don't get to. Oh, I knocked you down. I'm gonna kill you. That's it. I don't get a say. No, you don't get a say at all. None. You get no say. This
So
round's over. We can try again next round. Um, but I think it's trendy to hate Tekken 8 because that's what social media does. Is it makes things trendy, and if you go along with the trend, other people will start to notice you, and then you apparently get internet famous. I don't know how that works, but it seems to be something to chase where you have a lot of people that don't know you, like you, and follow you. I don't know. I don't understand, but
I
yeah,
don't get it
I'm,
because
I'm old.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm about to say because I put up my a fucking run match I had. I'm like, so some random dude just came in there like, oh, this so basic. I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun with the game, and he just like, why do y'all find it the need to come to somebody else's video? You don't like the game, you hate playing it, but yet y'all won't stay away from anybody who likes the game and plays the game.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, misery loves company. Got to try to bring you down. Um, I, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I definitely believe that social media and the internet has made people just, just parrot sadness. It's crazy to me. It is
It's,
crazy how much sadness goes on in this world when you really you just could be enjoying life, but you just choose not to. It's wild,
yeah, cause
very
like
wild.
when everything was going on, I'm like, man, if y'all hate the game that much, just stop playing. Just stop playing it.
It's all
I'm
right.
like,
No, I mean, I'd rather them keep playing and try to prove. The hate thing. I don't mind how that works because again, N- Namco Bandai already has our money. Please keep this in mind. They already have our money. So it's like people telling me they hate Walmart and then they're on their way to go shop at Walmart. Okay, it can't be that bad, you know. But I love, I would love for them to keep playing and either prove their theory right or discover that maybe the developers knew something that they didn't account for and it was a good change. Because both of those can happen. Those are your end
yeah,
results. Your end results are the developers knew something I didn't know, so that change makes sense to me now because I've played the game enough. Or I'm able to show the developers why I'm right. And both of those are a win because now the developers are able to move in a direction that can really help the game because they have the data. So if they hate Tekken 8 but they keep playing, I love it. I'm happy to see it. I love Tekken. I think it's a great series. I think they've always been trying to do something different with the game. I think Tekken 8 is anime as all get out. Like it every fight is an anime movie where you just get your time to just get all your stuff in when you turn on heat. And I think that we have not explored the game enough to really come to the decisions that we've made online. And there's a lot more to it if we can settle down for like 2 years, patch or no patch, just settle down for 2 years and really get in there and start figuring stuff out. I do think that we would have a deeper appreciation for what they're trying to do with Tekken 8.
Because even when I look at it at the highest levels, I'm like, even with heat and everything else, I'm like, it still looks like Tekken to me. Like,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, they can't backdash away from each other super fast, but they can still backdash a little bit.
Oh yeah,
It's got better movement. I'm like, it still looks like Tekken. I think
yeah,
people just have a huge problem with the heat mechanic and just they probably had the same thing when Rage Arts came in. It probably was a big problem.
yes, absolutely.
It's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
you got
I get it. They activate heat and it's plus on block. I like, okay, it's still fine. It's just something you just gotta hold it and just
yeah.
block. But
I mean, if you haven't used your heat, if you haven't used your heat burst, you can heat burst somebody when they use their heat burst. Y'all
yeah.
be in heat together. All right. Oh, you did? All right, I got you. I'll pop mine too. All right. Let's go. Let's see who
I do
wins
I about to say I
in heat.
do that sometimes.
Yeah. Why not? You know,
I like a heat, and to me
you know,
personally, heat doesn't even last that long when you really look at it. Like it's okay, but it's like it maybe like a couple of seconds. You get a maybe like one good combo. If you can get them to the wall with it, it's fine. But a lot of time the heat runs out super quick now. So
well, that is yes, but that is more character dependent because you've got characters like King and Lee where they can actually recover heat under circumstances. So I think that it lasts as long as it's supposed to last. I think that's probably the best answer I can give you. Is that it does what it's supposed to do, and I think it was more carefully thought out than people give credit for.
so do you think they should maybe take it where okay, you get it in the first round. If you burn it, you don't get it back in the next round. You have to earn heat back, like kind of like meter.
Um, I don't I don't know because I think with that change, what you would have to introduce is if you pop heat at the end of a round, then it's now got to carry over and you start with heat on in the next round. So I'm not sure because again, I play a character where I can recover heat by whiffing moves. Like I can just whiff just frames, and if you're far enough away from me, I'll just get my heat back and come back at you. So you have to stop me. I get to get my heat back like I'm doing crouch strong and third strike. So you have to stop me, or else I'm just going to be in heat for a long time. So I think that it's well thought out right now. Because originally you were going to get two uses of heat, and they cut it down to one per round because two uses of heat was crazy in early testings. So
Oh yeah, I
you
can
know,
definitely see. I can
right,
imagine having two heat bursts.
right. hmm So I think that I think they've done a good job of figuring things out so far. And I think that if Tekken players keep playing Tekken and they show the glitches and they show the things that are super egregious, that we can really help make Tekken 8 a great game, just like we have with all the other games. So I just hope that everybody really keeps playing because that's how you're going to make Tekken 8 great is to keep playing the game and show everybody else either the developers were right or I'm right. Either way is a win, you know.
Yeah, because me personally, I like it. It's got me back to playing again.
Good.
I'm
Well,
like, At
See?
least, I mean, to me, it's fun now. So it's like, okay, I'm into it now. I'm trying to practice and train. I say I probably need somebody to coach me because I can't Korean back dash to save my life. And I don't think Falcon Rum really has a good one, but I haven't really messed
I mean,
around with it enough.
he can backdash cancel. It's not super necessary, but okay. Like we can get together one day when I'm in town and work on it. It's not a big deal. That's fine. We can definitely. I'd be happy to help as best I can. Because
And oh no,
you know,
I definitely appreciate it. Cause I'm finna actually start getting into it because I've already hit my goal in Street Fighter by getting the master rank. So it's like, okay, I'm done with that.
all
Now I want to
right,
get into tech.
congratulations, man.
Appreciate it. Now I
Okay.
want to get into tech, and now I want to learn. And now since fuck, and it was kind of crazy because fucking wrong came at the same time when I kind of hit master. I'm like, okay, because I loved fucking Rum in 7. He's coming in 8, so I'll just wait for him to
Mm-hmm,
come out. And then as soon as he came out, I just started playing around. And I'm just like,
mm-hmm.
okay, I
There's
like
your
it. I
sign.
like this character. I like how he feels. I like his movement. I like his power. I like everything about him.
Okay,
and,
awesome. Well, that's
and
good.
I'm just so yeah. It's hard for me to watch other people play, like especially like other people when you like you're kind of around that same level. You're learning. You like I wouldn't do that. Like you like watching certain people like okay, you did the right combo, but you kind of went for a grab when you shouldn't have went for a grab. You should have used your heat burst to extend your combo to do more damage. But you're kind of using it, and then you're just using it. Like the second you get a hit, you just use it and just completely burn it out. So I'm like, you're not even getting the full benefit of using it. I guess because I see things. I might not be the best player, but I see things pretty much like a coach would see things. Cause I just been playing for so long. It's just like okay, you're not maximizing what you can do with that character.
I think we are at least 2 years away from optimization. At least 2 years. I think that Tekken 8 has way more going for it than we give credit for, and we have a good while before we hit optimization where we could really coach at the highest level and be right. I think there's way more mystery than we give credit to for the game to have, and I think we'll discover that as we move into from this season to the next one. I think we're going to discover that there's a lot we don't know, and there's a lot of adjustments we're going to have to make to play this game at the highest level. And the professionals are already very good,
Yeah.
so they're always leading the way. But there's a lot. Like if think because like me, I'll take him for example. He's very very slow at learning how new systems work. He's an amazing Tekken player. So his fundamentals will win him still 90% of his matches.
Yeah.
But that figuring out the new system so he can get that extra 10% of efficiency, it takes him a long time to do it. But once he gets there, you start seeing magic, you
And
know. And I think on a general level, as a community, we're probably 2 years away from the magic being around all the time. Kind of like how the magic really started happening in Tekken 7, probably season 3, season 4, you
okay.
know. So
Uh, I would say, do you think that's why most of I guess, the legacy Tekken players don't like 8 because 8 kind of like your legacy really doesn't matter as much as it did in past games, and now a player like myself can actually competently play against you and actually stand a chance against you.
um I don't I don't think that that's true. I think that if you've played Tekken for a very long time, there are things you just know that will win you matches that a new player would have no idea to do, and that's just the way it is. So I think that if you were to play a player that's played Tekken for a long time and they're good at playing Tekken, they can beat you without needing heat burst and all that stuff. Heat burst will be a different puzzle that they have to solve, but they don't have to be good with heat if they're already good at playing Tekken to beat somebody who's new to Tekken, but may have a better handle on how heat works in the first place. So I'm not completely sure I agree with the analysis that new players are on the same footing as veteran players, but every iteration of a game strives to give new players a better onboarding so that way there's less of a disparity in the middle
Yeah.
because there's always a disparity at the top that will never change because that's the difference between a veteran player who doesn't practice and a veteran player that does practice. But the disparity in the middle can easily be someone who's just good at Tekken for the sake of being good at Tekken and doesn't have systems knowledge versus someone who has gotten good at Tekken 8. So in the middle, I can see where that makes sense. But definitely at a high level, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
if
no,
somebody
no.
wants to,
Oh no, I'm
yeah,
not.
if somebody wants
I'm
to,
not
yeah.
beating knee.
No, I mean you're not. I would say that you're not beating people that top 32 in tournaments. You would not beat them at all.
Oh no.
Like I would easily say like if they regularly top 32 in large tournaments, you're not going to beat them.
Yeah.
And the
I'm.
only reason you're not going to beat them is because even if you two play a perfect game to the best of your ability, they would outdamage you in one more scenario and they would have one mix up that you don't know and that would win every time. Because that's all it takes. It
Yeah.
doesn't take them having to get a perfect to beat you. They just need to beat you one more time than you beat them on guessing right, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. I just think because it was
Mm.
coming more from like the legacy players that felt like, well, you're just taking it, you're just dumbing down the system for new players to come in, and why are they able to keep up with me? I should be able to basically deal with them easier than I am in this game.
Okay, I mean, if they're having that problem, I think that's a personal problem. I've not had that issue playing Tekken 8, so you know, I don't share that view because I haven't had trouble winning matches. So but
Yeah,
that's a personal problem they would have to overcome because if you're a veteran Tekken player, you still have to adapt and learn the new system so you can integrate the new system with your old skills. So then, if you know the system and a new player knows the system, your experience should be the X factor that allows you to win.
you said the trigger word.
What?
What adapt?
Yeah, I mean, we have to. It's a new game. Like you can play. I'll give you an example. Okay, Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 was a game where people who played Street Fighter 2 could hop right in and play Street Fighter 4. And even if you played Street Fighter 4 like Street Fighter 2, you'd probably get 80% of the damage available. Whereas if you practiced really hard and adapted to Street Fighter 4, that's the last 20% that would allow your, again, if you two had the same amount of opportunities in a round, the person who's now well versed in Street Fighter 4 is just going to beat you on damage. So if y'all were to have the same opportunities, you would lose because you're just not able to use the system to the maximum ability as the person who decided to adapt to Street Fighter 4. That's really the only difference in a lot of these scenarios. Um, so an experienced Tekken player that doesn't know how to play Tekken 8 will still beat a player that's just figuring out how to play Tekken 8 because the experienced player will just take advantage of opportunities that the other player would not know it exists. And they'd be able to play a safer fight in general and leave less openings in general.
Yeah,
So, you know,
because sometimes when I'm playing, I'm like, sometimes it's better to do less. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
just if you're just gonna be pressing button, okay, I'm gonna block, boom, boom, boom. You're gonna do the same string. Okay, I'm gonna do 3-2, punish you there,
sure.
and just go
Yeah,
ahead, just chip away at your damage and stuff. And when you do make a mistake and I can get a full combo on you, I need to basically do because with Fakarum, I just said, okay, I'm gonna take him to the lab and I learn the combo, which gives me if I get it right, it lands about 82 damage. So I'm like, okay.
Nice.
And I can get it off of his basically his main combo starter. So I'm like, okay, just practice this move and
Hmm.
maybe and then like a little wall combo. All right, let's just
There you
take
go.
this. Let's take this in the
Yeah,
rank, and then it's like, okay, beat him, beat
yeah,
him, beat him. Just being
yeah.
defensive sometimes, just blocking a lot of times,
Hmm.
and just when I
Yes.
get my hit, just do my combo, get my 80 damage. And all right, let's reset again. Let's see what you're gonna do.
Yep. Committing one thing you can do really well to muscle memory takes you so far, and it's really underrated how far that can take you. So that's great. I mean, that's it's a wonderful mindset to have. It's really good.
Yeah, because to me personally, I don't complain a lot. I just like, okay, well, I just got to figure it out. I'm not. Let me just go in the lab and figure out what I need to do to beat this. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it. Like when it's like
Yeah.
even it's like when Street Fighter came out and people were complaining about Bison when he came out and Maya when he came out, when she came out,
Mhm.
and I'm like, they're fine. Yeah, her fan stuff is a little bit. I'm saying, and everybody's like, oh, they're not gonna do anything to her. I'm like, they're gonna tone her down a little bit, but they're gonna leave her basically the same. And then the next
Sure.
patch came out, and what did they do? They toned down her fan stuff a little bit and just left her alone. Cause I'm like, I don't want you to nerf a character into the ground where basically the character really ain't even usable anymore.
Right.
I think
Right.
really a lot of time people just they don't want to go in the lab and just figure things out. They just want somebody to I want to turn
Yeah.
on a video and you tell me how to beat this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
learn. Just go in there, just do it on your own. But
I do think the internet has produced that. Yes. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
and I think that's the biggest problem Tekken's having that people just like, well, if the main man can't deal with this, then I can't deal with it. And I don't want to deal with it. I just want him to get it out of here. And that's what's kind of causing a lot of the discourse in the community. It just like you said, this big creator says this needs to go, so I'm gonna just parrot what he said.
Right.
Even though
Mhm.
I don't know the frames on it. I don't know if you could step it. I don't know if you can power crush it. I don't know what you could do to it. But he says it's not a good move. This character doesn't need to have it.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a world where it's very trendy to hate, and it is unusual to hope for the best.
Yeah, and that's what I say. I'm hoping because I think it's September. I think is when the big patch is supposed to come out. I believe.
Okay.
'Cause I think that's
All
supposed
right.
to be the big patch that they say. I guess they're going to do an overhaul of the system. So that's going to be interesting to see. To see.
Hey, listen, we'll see what happens. I'll still play Tekken when I get the chance because I enjoy the game. I have a lot of fun playing Tekken when I do, and just gonna deal with it as it
Yeah.
comes. So
Because like I said, I'm trying to learn it, but like my job,
yeah,
a lot of times I'm not getting home till maybe like 6, 7 o'clock at night. And then I had to be
sure,
back up,
sure.
and I had to be back up again at like 5.
Woo, yeah,
So it's like
I gotta
I
get that
might.
sleep.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of times I get to play is usually on the weekends. If I get home in time
Mhm.
enough, I might could play for maybe like an hour before I just gotta
Okay,
start getting ready for bed. But
right, right.
well, why don't you just go online and play? I'm like, well, I want to practice some stuff. I want to commit a lot of this stuff to muscle memory. So sometimes I'll just go online, I just go in training mode, I just practice my combos, practice stepping, practice doing punish, and then I'm like, okay, that's good enough. Go through the punish training. I've been trying to figure out a way to 'cause I know people say there's a way you can set it up to do like throw training to like how to break throws. Cause that's like my biggest weakness right there is like that and trying to catch low parries.
Uh, yeah, low parry. Well, I think with throw breaks and low parries, more low parries, you'll get more comfortable with low parries with match experience. Because unless it's a string that ends in a low, you're going to be low parrying off of pattern recognition more than muscle memory. So I think you're not really going to get that until match experience. That's going to be something that just comes the more you play people. Uh, Throws, they just take time. Watching the animations, looking at your position, because like basic throw ideas are like if you don't know which throw is coming, but you know that the other person's back's to the wall, they're probably going to do a 2+4 throw because it switches sides. If they want to keep you on the same side, they'll do a 1+3 throw. And you can break those with either button, so it doesn't matter. So really all you're doing is you're going to be training for special throws, which they can also be circumstantial, and you know, 1+2 breaks, which have a different, you know, in most cases they have a different animation. So I think those things will come more with getting comfortable with trying to break them in matches more than muscle memory. And then there'll be a point in time after you've got the match experience where then the muscle memory will make sense.
Yeah, because I got
Mhm.
I I got hit with a king. I guess his where he does like the multi grabs,
Sure. Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, what? How do you?
Who
How do?
hasn't got hit with that?
I'm like, where do I break this? Where do I break this move? At? And I'm
Well,
like,
the big thing with King is I would go to his move list, and what you'll want to do is you'll want to find the most damaging chain throw sequence and learn how to break that first, and then work through them changing it up, because you never want to get hit with the big one. It's always better to take the small one if they surprise you and don't go for the big one than to try to be cute and you lose all your life.
yeah,
So, I mean, that would be my advice for King is go find the most damaging chain throw sequences and learn those breaks and then kind of move on from there.
okay,
And that'll save you a lot of heartache.
I got you. Well, I just got
Hmm.
one. I got one last question for you if I let you go.
Perfect. Okay. All right. I'm in.
We gotta talk about the I guess what everybody's considering the menace of Tekken 8 right now, Oscar, and how she's kind of just
Mm.
running roughshod right now, and everybody's
Oh yeah.
basically crying, and everybody's basically whining to basically have her nerfed to the ground. And I'm like,
She's she's
and-
having a lot of fun. You know, um, she is playing the system very well. She's having a lot of oppression along with her defensive capabilities. Once she starts winning a lot of tournaments, then maybe we should talk about it. But if she's just having a lot of fun in ranked, who cares?
'cause I'm like
Who
she.
cares?
I think ever since 'cause I thought I played her in six and a little bit in seven.
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know when she came into the series, but I'm like, she's always had that parry thing where she grabs you and then
Oh
flips
yeah,
you. Like she's had that since six. I'm like,
yeah. She came in Tekken 5. She just replaced June. So, you know, she's, you know, Jin's cousin, and she replaced June Kazama when June Kazama was nowhere to be found after Tekken 3. And yeah, I mean, so she carries on what June did beforehand, and she's fine. And she just has really awkward mid-range moves that you got to get used to. Those heat attacks are really oppressive. She does very good chip damage, and you know, you Asuka, you definitely have to get used to her. And you know, they've given her a lot of great tools in Tekken 8. Until she's winning every tournament, who cares? Real, I mean, that's where I'm at. Until you find every person having a pocket Oscar or she's winning every tournament,
yeah,
then I don't think it's I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm happy that she's got her moment in the sun. Let her be good. Who cares? Let her be good.
well,
You know?
I say the same thing. I'm like, some of the stuff y'all complain about, she's always had that stuff, from what I understand and basically remember of. Like she's always had that. Like, but
Yeah.
I guess I guess people just don't want to deal with it, so they just like, well, just take it away from her or make it weaker somehow. And I'm
Sure. I mean, yeah, but let her have some fun. See if it actually translates and see if it translates into turning wins. That's the only way you can find out that it's really that overpowered. Is if it
yeah,
translate into tournament wins and you start seeing Asuka just winning everything all over the world, then you may want to look into it. But otherwise, just let her have fun on the internet. Who cares? It's ranked matches.
yeah,
Let her, you know, run wild on Twitter. Let her do goofy stuff just to people and make them cry. Do it,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I say just well let her do what she doing. Like everybody
Yeah.
busted in the game, and so when everybody busted, nobody is.
I don't know if I go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Yes.
It's just like I'm like all the characters to me, all the characters are kind of coming in the line where they're kind of you still well. I guess it's like people don't want there to be a top. They don't want there to be top tier characters, and I'm like. that's just the nature of fighting game. There's always going to be
It
a
is.
handful of characters that's going to be up head and shoulders above all the other ones. Like it's just what
It
it
is. Yeah.
is.
You're
A-
right.
And I'm like, if you don't like it, then you can go play the top tier characters. With me, I'm like, I'm just gonna play the characters I like. I don't care if they're a top tier character, a mid tier, or a low tier. Like if I like the character, I'm gonna play them.
Yeah.
But
Let them have a good time. Who cares?
but thank you sir for your time. I'm gonna let you go because I know it's getting late. It's what about almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, you got to get to bed for work. You know.
I get. The only
But
thing good about it, I got the weekends off.
nice. That's nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you having me on here. I'm honored, and it's been a pleasure, and really glad to talk to you about Tekken 8. And I hope I've been reasonable enough. Really.
Oh no,
You
you've
know.
been reasonable. Like, trust me, I've seen some podcasts where people are just like almost ready to come to blows over Tekken 8. I'm like, man, y'all taking this game a little too serious, man.
I mean, the game breaking stuff has been far worse in earlier Tekken games than what we're seeing now. So it's
Yeah.
fine. It's all
Yeah,
right.
I've heard a lot of Tekken players say, you guys are looking at these old Tekken games with rose tinted glasses. Like
Yes.
they are not exactly as good as you think they were.
I mean, they were very fun games. It's just that we knew that they were very stressful because some of those interactions were one touch and you were dead. And that's just what it was. Go on to the next round. Don't worry about it. Have a good day. That's it.
But tell everybody where they can find you at.
Oh, okay. So I'm working to get back on being YouTube consistently. So you can find me at Travis Scott LVD on YouTube. You can find me at Lee Van Dam on Twitch. My Instagram is the Mistrap Movement. And right now, I'm playing more mobile RPGs than fighting games. But I'll be getting back into fighting games soon. I've got some time coming up to where I'll be able to start really playing consistently. So I'm excited about that. Um, so those are the main places I'll be. Twitter, I'm on as Lee Van Dam 2K, and so I'm excited to have fun and just interact with everybody. And I've got quite a few like Tekken videos and tutorials for Tekken and Mortal Kombat and other games on my channel. So there's actually good stuff to watch, and I'm gonna get back to making sure I have some fighting game content coming on soon. So,
Mhm.
hopefully see y'all some more in the future. And again, I appreciate the opportunity, Chris. It's always great to talk to you, sir. Always a pleasure.
That's no problem. I definitely want to talk to you because I might try to get some more tech. I know T Lee, I've had her on and we talked about
Hmm.
Tekken. And Palm, he's a Tekken player. So I might try to see if I can get all three of y'all together and y'all just talk Tekken. Since
Okay.
y'all are way more experienced at it than me. Hey,
Amen.
because Palm is a lead player.
Okay.
Like he's playing. I know he's playing Anna now, but he plays Lee too. I know he played Lee in
Okay.
Tekken 7.
Okay. Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So hopefully maybe we can get all y'all together and y'all can more so educate me on the Tekken 8 right now. But
Oh,
I
okay.
know he's
All right.
playing a lot of Fatal Fury right now.
Oh, it's a great game. A lot of fun. So I understand.
Yeah, even though I'm be honest, I called that game way before everybody else did.
Oh, okay.
Not in
Yeah.
the not in the good way.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've enjoyed it. So I mean,
No,
I don't.
I enjoyed the game, but the only thing I said in the video, I said this game is very mechanically dense, and it's gonna turn a lot of casual players off to it.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It There's a lot of stuff going on. But the good news is you don't have to know all of that stuff to have fun playing the game.
Yeah,
So
I just hate the way the player base kind of just died out a little bit.
no, that's gonna happen. What can you do?
Yeah, but
SNK can only swing the bat and just make the game as good as possible. So hopefully they'll come back when Ken shows up because Ken looks really good, and I think Chun Li is going to be really good too.
no, I'm gonna
So
stick with my guy.
all right,
I'm gonna stick with Andy.
okay, the old ninja. All right, makes sense.
Well, at least until Joe comes out.
Okay, alright, alright, alright. The Muay Thai blood is strong.
Oh yeah, because
No preacher?
uh
Nah, see, I thought you were all Muay Thai, and you like,
I
"Oh, I don't
I
know
don't
about
know.
preacher."
I played in the beta and everything. I just noticed that like she has a lot of things that I look at. I'm like, she has a lot of weaknesses. I'm like, I don't.
She does, but she's a very, like, set play type character, so I can understand that. I get that.
Yeah. But she is fun to play. But
Mhm.
like I like because Preacher was the one I played in the beta. But I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna play her. But then I saw they were gonna bring Joe out, so I'm like, okay, when Joe comes out, then I'm definitely gonna probably drop her for him. But then I
Mhm.
started playing Andy, and I kind of like how they got Andy feeling this game. But then it's like at the
Good deal.
same time, I'm like, I hope they bring Geese back out of just resurrect him out of the grave and stuff and bring him back into the game.
It's not the first time it's happened, so, you know,
Yeah.
Geese Howard's Geese Howard, so, eh.
But thank
I
you,
love
sir.
him. I think
Oh, go ahead. Oh, but thank
I said
you.
I love him.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead. But I definitely thank you for coming through, sir. I would definitely got to get you back on here again, and maybe we can get my partner, Mr. Joshua, in here. We can all talk a little Tekken because he's actually trying. He's trying to learn Falcon Rum too.
Okay. Alright.
But I feel like
Well, that'll be
I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of him in Falcon Rum.
okay.
I told
Yeah,
him
I'm gonna try to I'm sorry.
I told him he needs to he should have stuck with Dragonoff. To me, he had a really good Dragonoff.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get the reboot, uh, uh, a few more Thursdays out of the month, so hopefully we'll be able to get some matches on and just kinda start working stuff out because you know,
Yeah,
there's no more fun than just learning stuff in the ring, so,
yeah.
hopefully I can make that happen.
I definitely appreciate it, sir.
Hey, man. Been a pleasure. Man, I hope you have a great night, man, and I look forward to us talking again soon.
All right, appreciate it, sir. You have a good night as well.
Take care. God
All
bless
right,
you, man.
you too. All right, guys, that's Mr. Lee Van Dam. Like I said, I'm gonna have all this stuff down in the description down below, so you guys can basically follow him on X, Instagram, his YouTube channel. I just got to get this edited down because we did have a hiccup, which I'm hoping it didn't drop too much, but we will see. But y'all guys be safe. I'll talk to y'all guys later. Peace. I'm out.